I now call on the representative of the Russian Federation.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. We thank Jan Kubiš for his briefing on the situation in Libya, and also the permanent representative of India for the statement as the chair of the committee of 1970. We also listened very closely to the representative from Libya. Jan, given the fact that you have said that you intend to step down as special envoy, we'd like to thank you for your efforts to stabilize the situation in and around Libya. You took up office at a time when there was a need to maintain and strengthen the impetus towards a settlement. Many questions connected with the political process have been resolved thanks to your input. Without question, at this point, there are still many challenges. We therefore note that the constant support of the United Nations in this pre-electoral phase that is so important for Libya remains vital. Mr. President, on the whole, we view the situation in Libya as stable. We think that the main objective at this stage of the political process is the organisation of presidential and parliamentary elections. The House of Representatives adopted the relevant laws, in this way strengthening the necessary legal basis for national elections. We note the active process of nominating candidates for participation in the presidential election. We highlight here the fact that among the candidates who have said that they intend to run for the post of president, there are candidates from all political forces and regions, including representatives of the former authorities. We think that this state of affairs deserves our common support and increases the chance that elections will be held successfully. We are convinced that the political process will only be successful if it is truly inclusive. We hope that on this basis, Libyans will be able to overcome the burden of accumulated conflict and mutual resentment, which will facilitate national reconciliation. At the same time, we note that there are voices to be heard, including in Libya itself, in favour of postponing the electoral process. We think that this turn of events would threaten serious consequences for the fragile peace and might deepen the domestic divisions within the country. We note there has been certain progress in military affairs. On the 6th to the 8th of October this year, the Joint Military Commission held a meeting in Geneva in the 5+5 format and agreed a plan of action for the step-by-step balanced and synchronized withdrawal from Libya of all mercenaries, foreign fighters and forces. This has as its basis a comprehensive approach which also chimes with our position. We also have been constantly advocating this kind of approach to evacuating non-Libyan armed forces and military units. Otherwise, there's a risk of disturbing the existing balance, thanks to which for more than a year now there has been a ceasefire in Libya. We await the details of a coordinated mechanism for carrying out this withdrawal. We think that there is an important role to be played in the consolidation of the armed forces in Libya by the Libyan National Army, the leaders of which have very valuable knowledge and experience for the development of the country. For our part, we encourage all Libyan forces to work constructively with each other. We intend to continue to participate actively in international efforts to find a political settlement in Libya, both through targeted work with the Libyan stakeholders themselves and in multilateral formats. We thank our French colleagues for having organised the International Forum on Libya on the 12th of November. There, an outcome document was adopted which is consistent with previous conferences on Libyan topics. The main thing in these decisions is the encouragement that we follow the political process timeline, including the elections, which they themselves agreed a year ago. Thank you.
I thank the representative of the Russian Federation for his statement